Welcome to Ace Designs 107. I'm the Ace in the card pack, you're the kings and queens. Today what I have for you guys is part 2 of how to make your own 3D intro. If you haven't seen part 1, a link will be on screen throughout this whole video, so you can just click there whenever you feel like it. The duration for this tutorial will be 20 minutes and the difficulty will be 2 out of 5 stars. It isn't that difficult, we're just moving stuff, we are adding materials to the extrusion and everything like that. And I'll be going through some of the render settings that I like to use. Also, all the assets for this tutorial will be in the description below, so if you do want the Lightroom that I will be using and also the materials, make sure you go download them. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Welcome to the desktop. This is where the magic happens. We're going to get straight into this tutorial by opening up Cinema 4D and opening up our project, I guess. So in the description below, you'll find a Lightroom pack. This is from, I think, Wiz's pack. I'm not too sure. It's a really nice Lightroom, and I'm not going to be teaching you how to make a Lightroom because there is like some lights that you have to do. This one would take quite a while to make. So I'm going to skip the process and just leave a link in the description below, and I'm going to show you how you can just use this Lightroom and bring it into our project so we can get some lighting going on, I guess. And for the texture, we will be using this one down here. It's a great little texture and I'm sure that you'll like it. So let's go into our Cinema 4D project. I'm going to go to our Lightroom, press Ctrl, select both, press Ctrl C and then press Ctrl V. I'm going to go to this camera, zoom right out. Actually, I'm going to go like here and then zoom right out. But with our stage, I'm going to, just so I can see what I'm working with, I'm going to go and bring it one frame forward, and this frame is going to be for our stage. So if I do remember it, I'm going to bring this camera into here, so I'm going to, bam, and then I can use that, hopefully. Okay, sweet. So now we've got some cameras so I can actually view the project, I guess, and see what it looks like. So this is our camera that we'll be using to, I guess, view it. And if I just go into a quick render, so if I go down to here, one frame back, and render this out, this is what it's gonna look like straight off the bat, I guess. But when we add in our texture, so if we go back to the Lightroom, select the texture, press Ctrl C, press Ctrl V onto this one. We need to make sure that we're copying it. Edit, copy. I don't think I pressed copy, edit, copy, paste, and just bring this onto all our letters. Shift click all these or hold Control while you're selecting them. Bring it in, and if we render this out, we should have something like this. If we go to our render settings, we add in ambient occlusion and we also add in global illumination. Render this one out and we'll just have a quick look on how this looks. That is looking quite nice, but you can see with this S that it's not straight. Now, I'm not too sure why that is. So if I go one frame forward, and if I just adjust this camera angle, because unfortunately, it's not straight. And if I just render this out in this position and see what we're getting, yeah, that line isn't straight, so you'll need to fix that up. But in our case, we probably won't waste our time because this is just a tutorial. But I would like to use this one actually for the thing. So I'm going to turn off global illumination and see how this renders with just like this. I think that's fine with just ambient occlusion, and it'll also speed up the render times. So if we go out, and I'm going to move my Lightroom so it's in kind of like a position that I like, I guess. So maybe the light will come from this direction. I'm not too sure. I just want to have like a direction it's coming from, so like there's a hot spot, I guess. I think that's quite nice. I'm also going to go to my final camera, and I'm just going to change the angle of it just a tiny bit with the rotation tool up here. Something like that. So now when I go ahead and render it, it's a bit more centered onto the document. And let's just see what it looks like with these. So it looks quite good with this one. Okay, this is rendering out quite nicely. Now we still have to go to all of these and add in some lighting, because of if we zoom right into here, like we're getting some lights. I guess actually this could work. Yeah, we don't really have to add in some lighting anymore, just because the Lightroom's covering the whole area. Just see quickly. How black this is actually. Yeah, that's just pitch black, isn't it? Okay, so I'm actually going to go into this first one. Actually, I'll go to my final one. Not too sure what I can do here. Press Ctrl C, press Ctrl V on the Lightroom. If we go to our first one, just zoom out just for now. Select our copy, I guess. Bring this one over. Rotate it a little bit. Something like this. Just because we're gonna get those camera angles. Now if we zoom right back in, we should have the texture onto here, and it's looking quite nice with that. And then with this one, we're just going to make sure that we're getting some lighting. And also with this one, I guess this one's okay with the black there. Because we're gonna make it look pretty in After Effects anyway. Just make sure that this is all looking good. Yes, I'm happy with that. Yes, I'm happy with that. Yep, I'm happy with that. Now, I just need to make sure that I'm okay with these types of renders, because this one is looking a bit dark. Yeah, it's way too dark. So what we're going to do is we're going to press Ctrl C, press Ctrl V on this new lull. And I'm just going to move out for the time being, just right out. And bring this null right over to here. Bring it in a little bit. Also down to the side. I'm just gonna rotate my camera just real quick. Making sure that I'm not fucking up the camera view. Okay, something like that is working, I guess. I think that it is a bit too bright though. I might just get this one out of my view for a second by just making it like that, so I can see what I'm working with here. Quick little render of this just to make sure that I like it, because you need to make sure that you're happy with every frame of your document, otherwise, you know, it just won't come out the way you like it. I don't like this filler cap that I've added to these, so I'm going to go to my caps and do none for all these. I'm just going to make sure that this is none. I don't know what it did there, so I'm just going to leave it on. Okay. I might do the steps like 0.5. Actually, I'll just do 1. Fuck it. Okay, sweet. And I'm happy with that lighting, I guess. This one. Just look at the top. Yep, that's fine. And then let's go to our final and third one, which is here. I'm going to press Ctrl C, press Ctrl V on this Lightroom once again. Let's zoom out, right back out. Actually, I don't want to fuck up the rotation. Okay, so I've learnt that it doesn't actually matter how badly you screw up the cameras, because it's just going to go back anyway. So we actually have quite a lot of Lightrooms now, which it might get confusing, but just because of like this type of intro, okay, what Lightroom side are you on? Okay, you're on that side, so this one needs to go. Again, I'm using my move tool. To move these Lightrooms into place. Okay, so now if I go 1 frame ahead, and if I render this one out, it should be something like this. And with After Effects, we'll be able to darken this scene a lot and add in some color, I guess, with colorization. So yes, I'm happy with this one. Maybe just a little bit darker. So just to do that, I think it gives us like a pretty good idea of how dark it is by moving it across. Again, so now if I render this one out, yep, I'm happy with that one. If we go to our lights, you can go to each light and change down the intensity, like this one, and also turn off these softboxes. So you might turn that one on. So we get something like this now. I don't like this black part, but I guess we can't really do anything about that. You probably could, just give me a second, by moving this one down and rotating it. Well, make sure that your whole node is selected. Again, by moving this one down, rotating it slightly upwards, and now we get some of that lighting so we can see inside here, I guess. Okay, that's quite nice. Maybe I want to get some of those corners. It's not the easiest thing to move around. Like that. Okay, so I'm happy with that camera, and then if we just go one frame ahead, make sure that all our cameras are in the right place. Okay, that's still rendering out like we like it. And then if we go to the final view, we should just have something like this. And that is looking quite nice. Now, I might just select our final camera, so I think it's going to be this one, or no, it's going to be this one, and just move it up. I'm thinking about getting a side shot, something like this, maybe, so like you can see it 3D. Actually, no, head-on's actually very good for a final shot, so maybe slightly tilted so I can get some of this angles. And our work path, it didn't extrude like perfectly like I was wanting it to, but I guess that is that. So something like this should be good. We're getting all the lighting, what I like. Making sure that all these projections are in cubic is very important, and making sure that I'm getting the right lighting for each scene by just doing a preview render, just as a backup check. Okay, so that is looking good. Now there is some variation in the lighting, but that is okay. Now this final frame, we want to delete our camera, so we delete this camera so we don't skip to that frame. And I'm gonna extend this back to 300, and on this final frame, because that's when it stops moving, I want to have like 3 seconds, so I'll times 60 by 3, which will be 180. So that's gonna be, we're gonna add 180 to 300 frames, which will make it 480. So we're gonna press enter on that one and just drag the slider out. So now we just have 3 seconds on that hold, and that'll be for our text. So now if we divide 480 by 60, our intro is going to be 8 seconds, which is on the lengthy side, but that is okay. We can speed up this parts in After Effects and everything like that, but I'm pretty happy with this. So now go to your render settings, and we're just going to spice this one up a little bit. So we're going to go to these, just give me a second, I have to tell something. I have 20 minutes, okay? Stop talking to me while I'm recording. I have 20 minutes, don't rush me. Okay? Sorry, so we're going to go to the save, and for the render settings, I'm just going to save it to a folder that I've dedicated. So this one's going to be 3D intro tutorial bracket part 2, because this is part 2. I didn't close the bracket, and I'm going to make a new folder, and this is going to be render. and that's where we're going to save it as. It's going to be render. Okay, so the format, I'm going to actually save it as, let's just see, AVI movie, I guess. The depth is going to be an 8-bit channel. The name is going to be like that. The options, you can do Intel codec, that's fine. You can also import it as a PNG and then do the image sequence, everything like that. So that should be fine. Now with the output, I'm going to do it at 1920 by 1080. Resolution is going to be 300. And with the from, it's going to be 1 frame from 0 actually, from 0 to 480. And the frame step is going to be 1. So everything like that. So it's going to be 60 frames per second. So make sure the frame rate is 60 FPS. Everything like that. Save is proper. Make sure that we render it as an alpha channel so we can put stuff in the background. Anti-aliasing, you don't want to turn this up too much, but just go to best and 4x4. If you have a slow computer, just do it none. Options, everything like that. And yeah, that should be fine. I might just do none for this tutorial and just do a quick preview render of what this will look like. And if you turn up anti-aliasing, it's going to be higher. And because now we have that high resolution, you can see more of that, I guess. I'm going to add in some motion blur and everything, so all the little imperfections will be gone. So that is all you have to really do with the render settings to make it look good. Then close that and you'll click this button and start rendering. I have to go to work now, so I'll see you guys in the next part after 3 days. So I'll bring out new parts for all my series 3 days after the first part's uploaded. So this is Wednesday, so it's going to be somewhere around Saturday, I guess. So I hope that you did enjoy this video. If you learned something, hit the like button and also comment below so I can personally thank you below. And yeah, have a great day everybody. Follow me on Google Plus to help me become verified. I'll see you in the next one.